I'm going to call the City Council meeting of March the 3rd, 2015 to order. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Marsh.
Here.
Kenyon.
Here.
Petty.
Here.
Tennant.
Here.
Shopmire. Latour.
Here.
Mayor Jordan.
Here. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first order of business we have tonight is Connie, I believe, Connie Edmiston, from Director of the Parks Department, has a presentation for us tonight.
Good evening, Mayor and City Aldermen. So excited to tell you tonight we have the Fayetteville Natural Heritage Association here to present a check to you. Back in the spring of 2014, they made a promise to the city that they would help pay for the purchase of Gulley Park expansion. And sure enough, they made that promise and said that they would pay by February of 2017. Well, they have the check tonight for you. So I have Bob Koch and some others from the Fayetteville Natural Heritage Association and the Friends of Gulley Park to make that presentation to you, Mayor.
Wonderful.
Okay, Connie is well, first of all, John Coleman, our chairman, was supposed to be here tonight to make the presentation, but John is under the weather. He's planning on going on vacation tomorrow, and he's going to sleep as fast and as hard as he can all day today and tonight so that he can go to Mexico tomorrow for vacation. As Connie mentioned, back in August, the Fayetteville Natural Heritage Commission made an association committed to raising $130,000 towards the purchase of the land to expand Gulley Park. We felt it was important to accept this additional challenge on top of our Kessler Mountain Challenge to help make this project go forward and to demonstrate community support because opportunities to add to important enduring green network features in urban areas are limited or rare. City staff and the park's users were very excited about the possibility of expanding the park. And the Friends of Gulley Park and the Cow Patty Foundation were the ones that had agreed to do the fundraising lead. And tonight, representing them, we have Wade Caldwell and Max Mailer back in the back. The results of the effort we undertook are complete now. We have the check here, and you'll have to listen to a few more words to get it. But
We have plenty of time, Bob.
there were 75 total donors to this project, and I wish to thank each and every one of them. And in particular, I want to mention again the Friends of Gulley Park and the Cow Patty Foundation folks that actually did all the heavy lifting on this to make it happen. In addition, there were three donors that need special mention. Kay Palmer gave what I would call a very generous donation. Buffington Homes gave what I would call an extremely generous donation. And the Walton Family Foundation provided a matching grant. This grant was the first grant that the Walton Family Foundation has given under their new sense of place strategy that allows them to invest in open space. And Fayetteville Natural Heritage Association qualified for this grant in part because of the Enduring Green Network that's in the City Plan 2030 that identified the area around Neocoska Creek as a conservation priority. And for that, I want to thank you folks for having this as part of your plan. Before giving the check, I wanted to offer Wade a chance to speak if he wants to. He doesn't have to, Wade.
You know, as you all know, Fayetteville's a wonderful town, and we've got wonderful people that care about the town, and the folks behind me, the Fayetteville Natural Heritage Association. But we've really been blessed, as you know, with people like Bob Koch and Dwayne Wolchin and Judy and Pete Heinzelman and their spouses. And these retired folks can do some pretty good work. And anyway, they've been able to bring this forward to the community, and I thank you for your efforts in allowing us to do this. And we've got a lot more precious areas around here to preserve and protect, and it only makes Fayetteville a better place to be every time we do that. But thank you for everything.
Thank you, Wayne.
Max? Hang on a second, Pete. Max, do you want to say something?
How cool. How cool is this? I think it's just really interesting to see the donor list. When we had people from college students in Colorado to people in Maine, California, all over the entire U.S. that were from Fayetteville at some point in time and saw it as something important enough to them to talk about, but also put some money at it. So I thought it was pretty neat. And I just wanted to say that it's pretty cool, and I look forward to watching it continue to grow as maybe one of Fayetteville's most central park. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
One more. Pete?
Thank you, Mayor, City Councilman. I wanted to say a few things, mainly about Wade. And because I think that he has championed the acquisition of the Dunn property, the extension of Gulley Park. And really, in the first place, he's probably the reason we have Gulley Park today. Wade grew up next to the Gulley's farm, and that was his playground, exploring, fishing, and just having fun. As the years went by, Mr. and Mrs. Gulley were getting on in years. Wade asked them if they would like to sell the land to the city so that it could be preserved as a park. They agreed, and Wade took the offer to the city council, and they agreed. And now we have this wonderful park, complete with open fields, trees, playground, trails, and an incredible gem, Neocoska Creek, which flows through the park and also through the Dunn property. The name Neocoska was chosen by the 4th grade class of Root School and is an Osage Indian name meaning little people of the middle waters. And this was originally their land, the Osage people. An appropriate name, by the way, for all the little people who now enjoy it. My granddaughter actually was one of those 4th grade classmates. When the adjacent Dunn property came up for sale, Wade again saw the value of this open natural land and brought public attention to it. Then, working with Max Mahler, his associate, he raised the money to help the city purchase the land, together with a matching grant and financial backup from the Fayetteville Natural Heritage Association. They were able to raise the $130,000, as you know, to help the city expand this wonderful park. The question may come up, why save natural areas in Fayetteville? Here's one answer that was in the front page article of the first issue of the FNHA newsletter, spring 2004. And I'll read it. That's the newsletter. And at the bottom of the first page, the last paragraph, it says, what do these natural areas mean to Fayetteville? To us, they mean keeping Fayetteville's future bright. Many communities do not have the wonderful natural areas that we have. When a business, family, or an individual decides on a place to locate, where will they choose to go? Will they choose a city with congestion, jammed streets, buildings, traffic, and nothing else? Or a community that has preserved its special places to walk, to ride, to recreate, and to just enjoy? We in Fayetteville need to make sure we preserve our valuable natural heritage and pass it on so that our families and others will have a great community to live in. So I think it is appropriate to thank Wade, and it is certainly appropriate to thank all of you on the City Council and Mayor Jordan for saving these special places for Fayetteville and for future generations who will live here. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete.
You want me to bring it up there, or are you coming down here?
All right, I'll come get it. Don't worry about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. I certainly want to thank the Fayetteville Natural Heritage Association, John Coleman and Wade and Max and Bob and Pete. And I know that Wade and I visited several times on this piece of property, right, Wade? And it was great to preserve another great natural area in this city. So thank you all very much. And Council, I want to thank you because I know that you worked very hard on this as well, and staff. So again, anybody else have? So thank you all very much. All right. The next order of business we have tonight is the consent agenda. Number one, approval of the February 17, 2015 City Council meeting minutes. Number two, a resolution to approve a budget adjustment recognizing hazmat services revenue received by the fire department from Washington County in the amount of $11,315 and increasing the related expense budget. Number three, a resolution to award bid number 15-19 to Pig Trail Harley-Davidson of Rogers, Arkansas, and to authorize the purchase of 3 2015 Harley-Davidson motorcycles in the total amount of $59,742 for use by the police department. Number four, a resolution to award bid number 15-20 to Truck Centers of Arkansas and authorize the purchase of 2 Freightliner M2-106 trucks with can recycle bodies in the total amount of $340,852 for use by the Recycling and Trash Collection Division. Number five, a resolution to award bid number 15-18 to Lewis Ford Sales Incorporated of Fayetteville, Arkansas for the purchase of 2 2015 Ford F-550 4x4 trucks with reading utility bodies in the amount of $91,407.52 for use by the Water and Sewer Operations Division. Number six, a resolution to approve the dedication of 22 feet of right-of-way from center line for Oakland Avenue along the east side of 940 West Maple Street as recommended by the Planning Commission. Number seven, a resolution to approve the purchase of 4 Hustler's Super Z mowers from Williams Tractor of Fayetteville, Arkansas in the total amount of $47,857 pursuant to a state procurement contract. Number eight, a resolution authorizing the purchase of 1 New Holland T6.155 four-wheel drive cab tractor with loader in the amount of $73,255, and 1 New Holland Workmaster 55 four-wheel drive tractor in the amount of $20,195 from Williams Tractor of Fayetteville pursuant to a National Joint Powers Alliance cooperative purchasing contract. Number nine, a resolution authorizing the purchase of a John Deere 611 5D cab tractor with H340 farm loader from the Countryside Farm and Lawn of Springdale, Arkansas, in the amount of $68,607.76 plus any applicable tax pursuant to the National Joint Powers Alliance Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. Number 10, a resolution authorizing contract with Game Time CO Cunningham Recreation in the amount of $21,030.45 pursuant to a state procurement contract for the purchase and installation of playground equipment for Prism Education Center. Number 11, a resolution to express the willingness of the city of Fayetteville to utilize federal aid recreational trails funding and authorizing the application for a 20% local match grant through the Arkansas Recreational Trails Program in the amount up to $75,000 for the construction of 3 sections of boardwalk on the Lake Fayetteville Natural Trail. Number 12, a resolution to award bid number 14-66 and authorize the contract with Croston Construction Company, Incorporated, in the amount of $11,788,362.19 for construction of Phase 1 of the Regional Park, to approve change order number 1 to reduce the contract price by the amount of $2,358,997.27, to approve a project contingency in the amount of $528,000, and to approve a budget adjustment. Number 13, a resolution to award bid number 15-15 and authorize a contract with Goodwin and Goodwin Incorporated in the amount of $707,007.50 for construction of a new 18-inch water line for the Kessler Mountain Regional Park Water Line Project, and approve a project contingency of $70,701. Number 14, a resolution to approve an amendment number 1 to the contract with Garber LLC to add construction phase services on the Kessler Mountain Regional Park Waterline Project in an amount not to exceed $71,200. Number 15, a resolution to approve amendment number 2 to the agreement with Lowson Associates Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $322,137 for construction administration services for Phase 1 of the Regional Park Project, and approve budget adjustment. Number 16, a resolution to authorize a contract with Grubbs, Hoskins, Barton, and White Incorporated for construction materials testing for Phase 1 of the Regional Park Project in an amount not to exceed $91,000, and to approve a budget adjustment. I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda as read.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda as read. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tennant, Shopmire,
Yes.
Latour,
Yes.
Okay, under unfinished business, number 1, an ordinance rezoning that property described in rezoning petition RZN 14-4882 for approximately 21.63 acres located on the east side of Rupert Road, north of the Boys and Girls Club, from RPZD Residential Plan Zoning District, RPZD 06-1884 West Side Village, to NS Neighborhood Services. The ordinance is left on the first reading. I will entertain a motion to go to the second reading.
So moved.
A motion and a second to go to the second reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tennant,
Yes.
Shopmire,
Yes.
Latour,
Yes.
An ordinance rezoning that property described in rezoning petition RZN 14-4882 for approximately 21.63 acres, located on the east side of Rupert Road, north of the Boys and Girls Club, from Residential Plan Zoning District 06-1884 West Side Village, to Neighborhood Services.
Jeremy, do you have any?
No updates, just a reminder, this was an expired plan zoning district. Staff has brought this forward to rezone it to neighborhood services. It's on the east side of Rupert Road, due north of the Boys and Girls Club. I believe Alderman Long was going to speak with some residents in that area, and that's when we held it on the reading.
Is there any questions from the council on this? Good. Any public comment on this? Okay, I'm going to bring it back to the council. Okay, here we are.
Move we go to the second reading.
Well, we're going to the second one.
I move we go to the third reading.
We have a motion and a second to go to the third and final reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tennant,
Yes.
Shopmire,
Yes.
Latour,
Yes.
An ordinance rezoning that property described in rezoning petition RZN 14-4882 for approximately 21.63 acres, located on the east side of Rupert Road, north of the Boys and Girls Club, from Residential Plan Zoning District 06-1884 West Side Village, to Neighborhood Services.
Okay, any final comments from the council on this? Everybody good? All right, Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tenet,
Yes.
Shopmire.
Yes.
Latour.
Yes.
Okay, number 2, an ordinance rezoning that property described in rezoning petition RZN 14-4938 for approximately 2.5 acres located at the northwest corner of Cross and Main Streets from the expired RPZD Residential Plan Zoning District Markham Hill Cottages RPZD 09-3237 to RSF 8 Residential Single Family 8 units per acre. I will entertain a motion to go to the second reading.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to go to the second reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tenet.
Yes.
Shopmire.
Yes.
Latour.
Yes.
An ordinance rezoning that property described in rezoning petition RZN 14-4938 for approximately 2.5 acres located at the northwest corner of Cross and Main Streets from an expired residential plan zoning district Markham Hill Cottages, RPZD 09-3237, to RSF 8 Residential Single Family 8 units per acre.
Jeremy?
This was toured last night by some council members and the mayor. We walked the site. The proposal is to rezone the property to RMF 24, residential multifamily, 24 units per acre. The Planning Commission did not agree with that recommendation by staff and actually recommended the property be rezoned to RSF 8. And staff is comfortable with either one of those zoning districts, but the property was zoned RMF 24 prior, and the property surrounding it are also zoned similarly. The applicants may be able to speak to their intent, but of course keep in mind that we're looking at the zoning, not necessarily the development for the site. But we do feel like it is consistent with our city plan, particularly with the ordinances we have in place regulating development in hillside protection areas, which this would encompass. So staff is supportive of either zone that you choose. This is another expired PZD, the second on your agenda, and we simply prefer it to be zoned something for the applicant or future property owner's use.
So we need to stay focused on the zoning and not what's going to be built, correct? I want us to be
Yes, since
clear.
it's a zoning request and not a planned zoning district, there's no bill of assurance, so that they really ought to only speak about what kind of uses are allowed on this. RSF 8, of course, single family is primarily allowed there in fairly narrow lots, and RMF 24, residential multifamily 24 units per acre, is the typical apartment zoning, but of course you can put other kinds of uses on that land.
Okay, I'm going to ask the applicant if they want to say anything. Gentlemen? Okay, thank you.
My name's Andrew Henson. My partner, William, back there, and Mike Bauman, the developer of the property as well, the applicants. We would just like to say, first, thank you for taking time out of your day yesterday to come in and look at the property, and obviously the way the terrain is, that's the reason we are asking for the RMF 24. It was RMF 24 before, and because of the terrain and everything, this makes it very difficult to develop. So we'd ask that you consider RMF 24. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys
Yes,
might
what
have.
questions do we have from the council for the applicant or staff? Anything?
Jeremy, you mentioned that some of the surrounding area had similar zoning classifications?
Is this, so south, east, and west of this property are all zoned currently RMF 24.
Okay.
North, I believe, is zoned either RA or RSF 4. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's in one of your maps there, but I just have to find it. But it allow for also residential uses, which was all that this particular zoning request allows as well. So it would be solely residential use within this area, just at a higher density, would allow for multifamily or single family.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
The PZD that this was under before, how many units was that authorized for?
It was between 17 and 18 dwelling units per acre.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, we will take some public comment. Everybody gets one turn to the microphone. Please introduce yourself. Keep your remarks directed to me. Don't engage council members or the public, and give us your name and address, and away we go. All right. Who will be first? Come on, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. My name is Tom Brown, and I live at 2031 West Main. Several of you visited the neighborhood yesterday, and I appreciate you coming by. Mr. Williams, our city attorney, at the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting which considered this, mentioned that years ago, back in the 70s, I believe, sir, there was blanket rezoning done to 24 units per acre. No rhyme or reason, no investigation on specific sites, just let's zone it all R24, okay? I believe the gentlemen that want to develop this property have said that some of that land is not suitable for development. And then I believe, if I understand correctly, they're saying, what we want to do is increase the density on some of these other parts of this 2.5 acres because we can't develop some of these other areas. Now, I could be wrong, but it seems to me that when we set up zoning, we're trying to stabilize neighborhoods for certain kinds of development, that this neighborhood has been, since the 1940s, mine was one of the oldest buildings on that original property, has been single-family units until recently, when some duplexes have been put in. Duplexes are rentals. Rentals are different from single-family home owners. Different values, different behaviors. If I'm not incorrect, all of you own your own homes. No, Mr. Petty? A lot of you own your own homes, and you recognize that home ownership is a traditional American value. And it's different from being a renter. And I've been both. And when I'm renting, I don't have the same attitude towards my environment, my neighborhood, as I do when I own the property. And since I own this property at 2031 West Main, I would like to get more homeowners in my area than renters. That's my perspective. That's my interest. And I'm here to advocate my interests the way some developers want to advocate for their interests. And you're stuck with the ball. Please, do not put this up to 24 units per acre. Please put this back to the 8 units per acre, that land is suitable for developing on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Any questions for Tom on this? Thank you, Tom. Anyone else want to address us on this?
I'd like to make one more quick comment about it. We are willing, as the applicant, to step down a number if we had to make it easier. From instead of the RMF 24, I believe we could still potentially get a nice development done if we stepped it down 1 or 2 numbers on the zoning, if that would help, or if that's something y'all would consider as well.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions?
Okay. Is there any other public comment? Yes. No. I'm going to bring it back to you all, or do you want me?
Well, not public comment.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to bring it back to the council. Huh?
Well, I'm glad some people from the council got to go visit this area. This is a hidden gem in the area of Fayetteville, just very close to the university, you know, very close to Pratt Place, but, you know, in a very wooded area, low infrastructure in a lot of the surrounding area. I think RMF 24 is too high of a density, but RSF 8 might be too low. Is there something, Jeremy, that we could look at in between, like RSF 12?
That's what I was going to ask. What's this step?
There is, so to allow for, still allow for a multifamily use on the property, which I believe the applicant desires, but to step down the density, we have at least a couple of density options there. Below RMF 24, we have an RMF 18, and we also have an RMF 12. The next one actually goes below 8, so it's RMF 6.
I know we had an
6
18.
units per acre. We also have a RT 12, which is a residential 2 and 3 family, which allows single family, 2 family, and 3 family units at a density of 12 units per acre. So it'd be very similar to RMF 12. It just wouldn't allow any more than 3 attached units. So that's kind of the option of range between 8 and 24 that we have available.
Okay. What's everybody thinking here?
I'm thinking like I always do. I think the landowner knows what's best for his property, and I think he has the strongest incentive. He pays the insurance, he pays the taxes, he defends the lawsuits, he prepares the maintenance. And I would defer to the landowner in this case. If they want RMF 24, I would grant them RF 24. But I too would compromise if they would compromise down to a lower number. But they are the ones that are putting the pencil to the paper and making sure their development will work financially. I'm sure their bankers are very interested in seeing that, or whoever's financing the project. And the project has to be economically viable or nothing will happen. We don't want just wilderness in our city, we want development. That's what I'm thinking, Mayor.
Okay, very good. Kit, you had something that you...
I just wanted to try to clarify that I did make some comments in the Planning Commission about the mass rezoning that was done in the 70s. I'm sure I didn't say it was done without any rhyme or reason. Obviously, the City Council at that point in time had their reasons. They did large rezonings of areas. It was maybe not the kind of detail and care that we do now, but I don't want to disparage the previous City Councils or let people think I have disparaged them. So it was a large rezoning, but they had their reasons. We might not always agree with their reasons, but they certainly had their reasons when they did that mass rezoning back in the 70s.
Okay. Sarah?
Well, I will say, I did go out and tour the site on Monday, and it definitely makes me nervous seeing a wooded hillside go up for development. But I'm going to put some faith in our hillside protection ordinances and in our tree preservation ordinances and our drainage criteria manual, and hope that those things are going to do the job and protect the people who live downhill from erosion and stormwater runoff. And ultimately, as far as proximity to goods and services, I do think that this is a good location for housing, and I would support up to an RMF 24. I like the idea of having a variety of housing types. Not everyone needs a single-family owner-occupied home. Over 50% of our housing in this city is rental, and I think it's important that we maintain having a diversity of housing types available. I think the RSF 8 is probably too low, but I would be willing to go up to an RMF 24.
Okay. What's everybody else thinking? Yes, Al.
I have a question for the developer.
Sure, absolutely.
If I could ask a question real quick. Would the RMF 12 designation accomplish your goal? You mentioned compromising between the two.
I believe that we could. 18 would I think, Jeremy, is that the next down, 18, I believe?
From a density perspective, it would go 24, 18, and then 12. That's correct.
Okay.
It would make it more challenging and more difficult. We would be willing to step down to 18 without any question. Would be a number that we could live with. 12 would have to go back and make sure that the project would potentially still be viable without, for me, just saying yes right now. We could absolutely do it. 18, I can go ahead and give you an assurance that's not a problem.
Okay. And while you're still here,
Sure.
Jeremy, and you said that this, the old zoning expired PZD held up to 17 units.
I think it was 17.4, 17.6, something like that, so right in between 17 and 18.
So that would be an approximate number equivalent to what it had before, so I'd like to see it amended to RMF 18.
Second that if it's a motion.
Is that a motion?
It is a motion.
We have a motion second to change the zoning to R18, SF18, correct? RMF, I'm sorry, RMF 18. What discussion do we have on that?
Well, Mayor, I'd like to see us do that. I feel like that is a nice compromise between the neighborhood and the developers, and so I think that would, as far as I'm concerned, that would be fine.
Okay.
It is, as Sarah says, it is a gorgeous piece of property, and I want it developed to the very best, and I think these gentlemen will do that.
Okay. Is there any public comment on the new zoning? None, I'll bring it back to the council. So we have a motion and a second to go to RMF 18, correct?
Yes, to amend the ordinance to that.
All right. Any other discussion on it? All right, let's see. We need to go to the third reading, don't we?
Let's do the amendment and get.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Got a little ahead of myself. Okay, any other comments? Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Hetty,
Yes.
Tennant,
Yes.
Shopmire,
Yes.
Latour.
Yes.
Now we need to go to the third and final
Yes,
reading.
yeah.
Move we go to the third and final reading.
Second.
A motion and a second to go to third and final reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Hetty,
Yes.
Tennant,
Yes.
Shopmire, Latour.
Yes.
Okay.
An ordinance rezoning that property described in rezoning petition RZN 14-4938 for approximately 2.5 acres located at the northwest corner of Cross and Main Streets from an expired RPZD Residential Plan Zoning District Markham Hill Cottages, RPZD 09-3237, to RMF 18 Residential Multifamily 18 units per acre.
Any final comments from council on this? Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Hetty,
Yes.
Tennant,
Yes.
Shopmire, Latour.
Yes.
Okay. Number 3, the resolution authorized Mayor Jordan to offer for sale approximately 1.25 acres of city-owned real property on Old Wire Road near Gulley Park. Connie, I believe you have this?
Connie Edmonston, Director of Parks and Recreation. In the summer of 2014, City Council, you purchased 11 additional acres from the Dunn family for us to expand Gulley Park. At that point in time, our memo described that I would be coming back with you to request the sale of the 2 homes. At the point of purchase, the Dunn family was not interested in selling the homes aside from the property, so we took the whole thing. City Ordinance 34.27 establishes a procedure for the sale of municipal-owned property. And within it, it says that City Council must pass a resolution authorizing the sale, and that City Council shall determine whether the property should be rezoned or appraised prior to its sale. So we are requesting the sale of the 2 single-family homes that are existing there. It's about 1.2 acres. We are requesting that you accept Reed and Associates' appraised price at the time of purchase. In the resolution that our city attorney has before you, it sets a minimum bid at the appraised value of the homes, which is $111,500 for the home that is on the north side, and the larger home, $218,500. And at that point, that the sale of the property would be through a sealed bid process with a deadline of April 20th. And I am asking that you reconsider, since we tabled this item, to move that date back to May 4th, so we have just a little bit longer to sell the property. We are also requesting that you keep the current zoning of RSF4, which is what basically that whole neighborhood is at this point in time. And if anything, we would like you to go ahead and recommend to approve, to establish a resolution to sell the property. And if you are wanting to reconsider the rezoning of it, that we wait till next time. We'll bring another item to you to rezone that. That way we can go on and start the sale of the property. but we can give ample time if you should choose to rezone the property to the neighborhood.
So what you're asking tonight, Connie, if I understand correctly, is just the intent to sell the property tonight, and then the zoning will come later once we get offers. Is that
If
the bottom line here?
that's what you choose to do.
Correct?
We-
Mayor, I think the point is that if the property was going to be rezoned something different than the current zoning, which is residential single-family 4, we think that proper notification should be given to property owners adjacent to it, which is not done as a part of this process, to just seek authorization to put it up for sale. Because typically rezoning is requested from the landowner at the time that they have plans for the property. So someone may have plans and want a zoning different than what the RSF 4 is, whoever the potential buyer might be. So we'd like to separate those two in terms of this. This authorization just giving the city the ability to list it for sale, and any rezoning request, if the council wants it rezoned prior to sale, that we would bring a separate ordinance to the council for just that item, not merged with authorizing the sale of land.
This is similar to what we did with the Come and Go property, correct?
Yes, and I think the most important part of it is that then at least the adjacent property owners would have received notification
Yep.
of a rezoning request.
And Connie, you need an amendment to do the sale when, May the 4th?
We need a resolution to sell the property.
No, we have a
We
resolution
have a
to do that. We have, in Section 4, it says the bids will be submitted by April 20th. You want to have that amended
Oh.
to say May 4th. Is that right, in Section 4 of the resolution?
Correct.
Okay, so we need to do that first.
Yes.
Right, let's do, yes, Sal.
I just have a question, so regarding potentially rezoning the future before we sell it. So we're into that discussion, we have discussed that a little bit. How would we give notification to people?
Well,
that
what
are
we do is
interested?
follow our normal rezoning procedures where it would be presented, the staff, I guess, would be the one that would be presenting it, but then they would follow all the notification procedures, the mailing the letter, the newspaper, and also put up signs, I think, Jeremy?
Correct, yes.
We've done that before in selling property, right?
Yes. That's the same process we followed as Don mentioned with Come and Go. We actually authorized the sale of that property, and we went through a zoning process to zone that to C1, actually after that was already sold at the desire of the council.
Okay. Good. Okay, first thing we need to do is amend it to do the sale on May the 4th, correct?
Yes.
Proper procedure, all right.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second to sale up on, till May the 4th.
Amend Section 4, instead of saying April 20th for the time when the sealed bids would be submitted, we're going to change that to May 4th.
Great. All right.
Is that what you want?
Okay, good. All right, any comments on that? Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Tenet.
Yes.
Shopmire. Latour.
Yes.
Okay, now to the resolution, the amended resolution as it is. What comments do we have on that? Okay. Any public comment on it? Okay.
Move we pass the resolution.
Second.
A motion and second to pass the resolution. Any discussion on that? All right, Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Tenet.
Yes.
Shopmire. Latour.
Yes.
Okay, under new business, number one, an ordinance rezoning that property described in zoning petition RZN 15-4942 for approximately 4.84 acres located at 3010 West Old Farmington Road from RA Residential Agriculture to RSF 8 Residential Single Family 8 units per acre. Kit.
Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas hereby changes the zone classification of the following described property from RA Residential Agricultural to RSF 8 Residential Single Family 8 units per acre as shown on Exhibits A and B attached to and made a part hereof. And Section 2, that the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas hereby amends the official zoning map of the City of Fayetteville to reflect the zoning change provided in Section 1.
Jeremy.
This property is located at 3010 West Old Farmington Road. It's currently zoned RA Residential Agricultural. Is located on Old Farmington Road west of I-49, and developed with one residence dated from the 1950s. It's about a little under 5 acres. A portion of that, as you can see in the map in the green, being within the Hilltop Overlay District. The request is to rezone the property to residential, single-family, 8 units per acre. And in staff's opinion, this property zoning would be compatible with surrounding land uses to the north, the east, and the south. Particularly to the east, you can see in the map, there's a residential plan zoning district at a density that's very similar to this, actually maybe a little higher, that was approved by the council several years ago. To the north is largely RSF2 zoning currently, but we would anticipate there's a collector street in the nearby vicinity. We anticipate looking at that as a potential rezoning in the future. It's all shown as a residential neighborhood area on our future land use plan, and so that would certainly support a variety of density and intensity in terms of the residential use in this area. The Plan Commission agreed and voted 9-0, and staff is supporting of the rezoning request.
Okay, is the applicant here? Would they like to say something?
Yes, sir. I'm Vicki Bedford. My husband and I and another couple own this property and have for many years. We don't live on the property, but we have decided it's time to sell it, and RA is not going to be a logical sale in that location. I've spoken with most of you or emailed most of you and had, I think, 0 negative thoughts about it. You seem to think that the RSF8 would be an appropriate density for that. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions from the council on this? Everybody good? All right, thank you. Is there any public comment on this? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council.
Move we suspend the rules, go to second reading.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to go to the second reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Hetty.
Yes.
Tennant.
Yes.
Shopmar.
Yes.
Latour.
Yes.
An ordinance rezoning that property described in rezoning petition RZN 15-4942 for approximately 5 acres located at 3010 Old Farmington Road from residential agricultural to RSF 8 residential single family 8 units per acre.
Motion to suspend the rules and go to third and final reading.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to go to the third and final reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Hetty.
Yes.
Tennant.
Yes.
Shopmar. Latour.
Yes.
An ordinance rezoning that property described in rezoning petition RZN 15-4942 for approximately 5 acres located at 3010 West Old Farmington Road from residential agricultural to residential single family 8 units per acre.
Any final comments? Everybody good? Okay. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Hetty.
Yes.
Tennant.
Yes.
Shopmar.
Yes.
Latour.
Yes.
Okay. Number 2. An ordinance waive competitive bidding and approve a memorandum of understanding with the Walton Arts Center, CDI Contractors, LLC, and Bora Architects Incorporated to spend not to exceed $6,323,515 of the 2014 HMR bond proceeds to partially pay for the Walton Arts Center expansion and enhancement project. Kit.
Whereas the city participated with representatives of the Walton Arts Center to select CDI Contractors LLC as the construction manager contractor for the Walton Arts Center expansion and enhancement project pursuant to state procurement laws. And whereas the Walton Arts Center is raising private donations to be used along with the city taxpayers' bond revenue of $6,323,515 to pay for the balance needed to complete the Walton Arts Center expansion and enhancement project. And whereas the city and the University of Arkansas jointly own the land and the Walton Arts Center, incorporated the Walton Arts Center Council Incorporated to operate the theater and have entered into a long-term lease to ensure the continued operation of the Walton Arts Center on Dixon Street, which is very beneficial to Fayetteville's entertainment district. And whereas the Walton Arts Center expansion and enhancement project could not be accomplished without the strong efforts of the Walton Arts Center as well as the important financial investment of Fayetteville taxpayers. Now therefore it be ordained by the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas hereby determines that the formal selection process that the Walton Arts Center and the City of Fayetteville engaged in to select CDI Contractors LLC as their construction manager contractor almost certainly complies with state purchasing law so that no other formal bidding is legally required, but hereby also finds the facts previously stated would also constitute an exceptional situation where further formal competitive bidding would not be feasible, practical, or reasonable, so that any possible requirements of formal competitive bidding should be and are hereby waived. Section 2, that the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas hereby approves the attached memorandum of understanding in which the City of Fayetteville agrees to pay not more than $6,323,515 for its portion of the cost of the Walton Arts Center expansion and enhancement project as approved by the voters and pursuant to the bond revenue requirements, and authorizes Mayor Jordan to sign this memorandum of understanding.
Paul.
This is the last piece in a project for the Walton Arts Center expansion. As the council will all remember, the A&P Commission came forward and recommended that we issue bonds for three purposes. That went to referendum of the people. Those three purposes were: one, to refund an outstanding bond issue; two, help fund the regional park to the tune of approximately $3.5 million; and three, to assist in the expansion of the Walton Arts Center for approximately $6.9 million. That was approved by the voter at that point in time. Subsequent to that, we issued the bonds, secured by advertising and promotion tax revenues. At this point in time, we're ready to enter into the actual construction agreement to go forward with this expansion. We've already committed $858,000 to do the backstaging area as a part of that expansion program. This is for us to contract with the Walton Arts Center, but primarily CDI, the construction firm who's doing the actual construction of the expansion, and Bora and Associates, who are the architects on it, to pay CDI, the contractor, for in-progress payments for up to $6.3 million, which would be the proceeds of the bond issue as a part of that expansion. I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
What questions do we have for Paul on this?
Mr. Mayor, I should note that at the agenda session, I pointed out that we had been working on a contract with the Walton Arts Center, the Memorandum of Understanding. I have a slightly amended version here that has now been signed by all parties but the City of Fayetteville. The slight change was in paragraph 5 of the agreement, which simply expanded on the explanation of how the citizens of Fayetteville's about $7 million investment into the Walton Arts Center project would be acknowledged and honored by the Walton Arts Center in there. There should be enough copies, maybe even one for Dunn if there's enough, if I counted right. So I am quite satisfied that the language that the Walton Arts Center and the administration agreed to does very adequately recognize the very important investment that our taxpayers have made into the expansion project.
Okay. Thank you, Kip, for working on that. What questions do we have? Anything from Paul? Okay. Let's take some public comment. Any public comment on this? Tim.
Mr. Mayor, I'm Tim Vogt with the Walton Arts Center, and I just wanted to report to you tonight that a little over an hour ago, we announced that the Walton Family Foundation had given us a grant of $5 million towards this project. It's a 1-to-3 match. We are happy to report that we have raised almost $20 million to date. So we are well on our way to our target of $23 million to accomplish this project. And I really wanted to just say thank you tonight to the mayor and Don and council and former council members, the A&P Commission, and especially to the citizens of Fayetteville, because it was their support, their overwhelming support in November of 2013 to vote these funds towards this project, And we recognize what a great start to the capital campaign that was. It really kick-started everything, and we have had so much support as a result of that. So I'm here tonight just as a representative of the Walton Arts Center to say thank you to all of you.
Thank you, Tim. Okay. All right. Do we have any other public comment? And we'll bring it back to the council. Thank you, Matthew.
Wake up. Move we go to the second reading.
Second.
Motion is second, go to the second reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tenet.
Yes.
Shopmire,
Yes.
Latour.
Yes.
An ordinance to waive competitive bidding and approve a memorandum of understanding with the Walton Arts Center, CDI Contractors LLC, and Bora Architects Incorporated to spend not to exceed $6,323,515 on the 2014 of the 2014 HMR bond proceeds to partially pay for the Walton Arts Center expansion and enhancement project. I can say that the reason I put this in an ordinance and waiving competitive bidding is that we properly selected CDI, I think, without any question. But as you see, the memorandum of understanding includes two other parties, including the Walton Arts Center. We're kind of doing a cost share with them. And because it's a $6 to $7 million contract, I just like as many backstops as I can have so that no one decides they want to try to challenge it and recover some of the taxpayers' money. Otherwise, we would have just had a resolution, but I'm probably a little too cautious.
Okay, yes.
Do we need to make an amendment for your new memorandum?
No, it will be, I think it is just understood that this will be the memorandum that was approved. I don't think, I don't think that you need an amendment to that. I'm substituting this in, and surely, I'm glad you brought that up, though. This will be what you will be approving and authorizing the mayor to sign.
Move we go to the third reading.
Second.
We have a motion to second, go to the third and final reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Tenet.
Yes.
Shopmire. Latour.
Yes.
An ordinance to waive competitive bidding and approve a memorandum of understanding with the Walton Arts Center, CDI Contractors LLC, and Bora Architects Incorporated to spend not to exceed $6,323,515 of the 2014 HMR bond proceeds to partially pay for the Walton Arts Center expansion and enhancement project. It's too much money to say.
I understand that, kid.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. What final comments do we have in the council? Yes, absolutely, Justin.
A lot's been said about the citizens and the staff, and I appreciate those. I also just want to say thanks to City Attorney for, I really like what you did here about featuring the citizens of Fayetteville in the recognition wall, because essentially the citizens of Fayetteville are a huge donor. And, you know, if somebody wrote a personal check for that much money, I'm sure they would be prominently displayed in that facility. So the citizens of Fayetteville can be very proud, I think, of their partnership. So thank you, Kit, for fighting for that. I appreciate it very much.
Okay. Any other final comments? Everybody good? Tim's been a long haul, hasn't it? Council, I want to thank you all. I want to thank the staff. Kit, Sandra, you did a lot of the paperwork on this too, and I want to thank you. I don't really know what to say anymore. It's a great project, and it's a great partnership with the city and the citizens of the University of Arkansas and Walton Arts Center. Everybody working together. I didn't think, 6 years ago, I didn't know how far we would get along, but we're here. And it's a wonderful moment in this city. One I'm certainly proud of, and I know you all are too, so thank you very much. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Tenet.
Yes.
Shopmire.
Yes.
Latour.
Yes.
All right. Number 3, an ordinance to waive the requirements of formal competitive bidding and to approve a 2-year contract with New World Systems Corporation for software service and maintenance in the amount of $106,690 per year plus any applicable sales taxes. Paul?
New World Computer
I'm sorry,
System.
Kit.
It's an ordinance, I need to read the ordinance.
Sorry, Kit.
Whereas the city has maintained a software agreement with New World Systems Corporation since 1992 for software modules in financial management, human resources, utility billing, licensing, NetoGov interfacing, software, and public safety software. And whereas the city recently extended a separate agreement with New World Systems for maintenance of its public safety software, but additional service and maintenance fees are necessary to keep the remaining software modules current, thereby allowing the city to continue receiving updates and enhancements to the software as they become available. And whereas New World Systems software is proprietary, and the New World is the only maintenance and service provider for the software modules used by the city. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Fayetteville, Arkansas hereby determines an exceptional situation exists in which competitive bidding is deemed not feasible or practical, and therefore waives the requirements of formal competitive bidding and approves a 2-year contract with New World Systems Corporation for software service and maintenance in the amount of $106,690 per year, plus any applicable sales taxes. A copy of the agreement is attached to this ordinance, made a part hereof.
Okay, Paul?
Mayor, the New World system handles all of the counting and record keeping for the city. Utility billing, accounting, payroll, all of those type of functions. In addition, it also processes work orders and things of that nature for our operating departments. It's very, very critical that this keeps running and running correctly, and certainly we are all aware of security issues. What we receive for this $106,000 are enhancements or updates, ongoing maintenance, fixes in case we run into any problems. We have ongoing conversation and contact with the software provider. It also gives us membership in the user group, which suggests updates or fixes or new software modules. Very important for us. It's $106,000 a year. I asked for a 2-year contract rather than a customary 5-year contract. At this point in time, we're moving forward here at the city of looking at a new ERP. In other words, a replacement, a web-based replacement for this system, which would give enhanced functionality and many, many things that we don't have currently. As you know, the system we've had since 1992, but it is critical that we keep it going for the next 2 years until we select a new package and get that package implemented. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
What questions do we have for Paul on this? Okay. Any public comment on this? Okay, bring it back to the council.
I move we go to the second reading.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to go to the second reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tennant,
Yes.
Shopmire,
Yes.
Latour,
Yes.
An ordinance to waive the requirements of formal competitive bidding and approve a 2-year contract with New World Systems Corporation for software service and maintenance in the amount of $106,690 per year, plus any applicable sales taxes.
I move we go to the third and final reading.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to go to the third and final reading. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tennant,
Yes.
Shopmire, Latour.
Yes.
An ordinance to waive the requirements of formal competitive bidding and approve a 2-year contract with New World Systems Corporation for software service and maintenance in the amount of $106,690 per year, plus any applicable sales taxes.
Okay, any final comments from the council on this? Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Tennant,
Yes.
Shopmire, Latour.
Yes.
Okay, number 4. Resolution to approve a budget adjustment in the amount of $1,375,000 to fund the citywide 2015 employee compensation adjustment. Paul?
During the 2015 budget process, we indicated to the council that the mayor would come back, if possible, with a pay plan for the employees. We wait till the first quarter of the year for two reasons. One, gives us a chance to look and evaluate the operating results for the prior year. And two, gives us a chance to look at least period one, which is December sales tax receipts, which in fact we have. Based on those operating results and based on that sales tax, the mayor has recommended a pay plan to be presented to the council for approval. After adjusting for the parking deck in Mount Kessler, the fund balances, which came out of fund balances for last year, the operating surplus would have been, without those two factors, $1.7 million into the general fund. An analysis of the other fund indicates that the other funds can't afford the salary package that was put together and is being recommended. During the first quarter of this year, we just talked last week about sales tax, and I said I was very excited. You don't see too many outward things looking like I'm excited, but I am. We were up 9.2% compared to last year for the city's penny, and overall we're up 10%, so I'm ecstatic. As far as the plan and the particulars of the recommended plan, it provides two steps for fire. Now, if we recall, back in 2013, we got a salary survey. At that point in time, we did not feel that we had sufficient funding to recommend the full two steps for the fire, but certainly it's been the mayor's priority, and I know all of you on the council have spoken not only publicly, but to me privately, making that a priority for us, and I feel this is the year that we can bring them up to that level and give those eligible two steps for the fire. Would also provide one step for the police, and the average of a step is about 3.75. It's kind of dangerous to average because it depends on what the particular job is. For example, a firefighter has a different pay plan than a captain or something of that nature. So each of the slots have their own pay plan, but the average is 3.75. Therefore, the mayor is recommending that a pool of 3.75% be given to the department heads, or authorized for the department heads, I should say, to distribute based on merit to the merit employees. Any topped-out employees, that means the ones who are at the top of their range, and I want you to understand that not only merit employees are at the top of their range, we also have employees in police and fire who top at the top of the STEP program. This would provide for them a one-time service award for the work done in recognition of that. That would not go into their base pay, therefore, although that particular would move forward, it would not multiply over time. So they would still stay in the same salary level in the future. Now, as far as the impact of this plan on the general fund, it's $985,000 for this year because there's only 9 months. The full impact of the plan to the general fund moving forward is $1,280,000. To all funds, it would be $1,375,000 this year, moving forward to approximately $1.8 million in the future. Number of employee affected, there will be 678 employees eligible for a raise over the 17 funds that we have, and it again brings the fire up to the salary survey level of 2013. The effect on the general fund balance is estimated to be, at the end of this year, granting the salary increase, if we have to take all of it out of fund balance, and that's what I have to forecast at this point in time because we don't know where revenue is going to come in, we would still end up with $11 million fund balance in the general fund at the end of the year. Now, by policy, we keep $6.5 million. That's in case we have any type of financial disruption, a downturn in revenue, things of that nature. Over and above that, that would still give us $4.5 million as a little cushion. I'm very happy with that position. I think this plan is affordable. Going forward, we look year to year, and if revenues go down, et cetera, we may have to have a different conversation in 2016 for salary increases. But again, I'm very happy with where we are now, especially in view of the capital expansion that you have approved and that we are underway, and the and the capital improvements that we have on the way, I think we're in a very, very good financial position in the general fund to weather any storms if we have them, certainly within reason. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
What questions we got? Yes, sir.
I just want to clarify that we are now, we'll have all of our employees at market rate. Is that
Absolutely. I can answer that one for you.
great?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
They're there.
That's a correct answer, Mayor.
Okay. Is any public comment on this? Okay. Back to the council. Yes.
I had one question.
Sure, I'm sorry.
To Sarah's question, so are we at market rate or above market rate?
We're at market.
At market rate.
At market rate.
Because we have a city policy of being above market rate on pay, generally speaking. That's why I was wondering what the,
We strive to be above market, but we are at market rate as of the last survey.
okay, I just wanted to make sure where we were at. Thank you.
Everybody good? All right.
Move we pass the resolution.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to pass the resolution. Any final comments? Yes, sir.
I think that there's something really important in the memo that Paul Becker distributed to us, and he said that the surplus that's enabling us to do this was achieved primarily through expense control, and I just want to say thank you to all the city staff for your wise and prudent use of city resources that enables us to do this, and I'm very happy that we're finally getting those firefighters up to market rate.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? All right. Sandra, would you please call the roll?
Long,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Hetty,
Yes.
Kennett.
Yes.
Shopmire. Latour.
Yes.
Okay. That concludes our business. What announcements do we have?
Mayor, we've a couple of announcements. The City of Fayetteville Historic Preservation Award nominations are currently being accepted. These are nominations to honor projects, organizations, and individuals that have displayed an outstanding commitment, practice, or leadership in the preservation area in Fayetteville. The deadline for those nominations and supporting materials, 5 p.m. Friday, March the 27th. We are hoping that members of our community will nominate those deserving individuals and projects. Secondly, the Parks and Recreation Youth Softball registration is now open and has been open since February the 2nd. Goes through March the 15th. Sign up is on www.onlinesignup.org/Fayetteville. And then just to make sure that the council is aware, today the National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning for our area today at 1:28 p.m. Our transportation division will be going to shifts at 4 a.m. this morning. We do want to make the council aware that this event is projected to start with freezing rain, which prohibits and limits pretreatment capabilities because of rain first. So if you get questions or calls from citizens saying, we don't see trucks out doing pretreatment on the streets, we're only able to do that and save and utilize resources as they should be done if it's not a rain first event. So just want to make you aware of that.
Rain's pretty good.
The ground temperatures for bridges, overpasses, and roadways are not projected to go to a freezing level until around 9 a.m. in the morning. Good news, Fridays mid-40s, Saturdays 50s, next week is 60s. So hopefully a short-lived project, but we want to caution citizens that to expect impaired travel tomorrow. And for citizens who have school children, the event is not projected to start until between 6 and 9, which makes it very difficult for people to project closures. So stay tuned and watch closely the normal notification processes.
Don, would you recommend that people go ahead and put their trash and recycling out tonight for collection tomorrow?
Yes, we do, because we will get as much of it done before we aren't able to as possible.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mayor,
Yes.
on a somewhat happier note, you might have noticed that I'm actually here tonight instead of being in trial. We were supposed to be in trial over the city hospital land. Fortunately, late yesterday afternoon, our summary judgment motion was granted, and so at this point, the Washington Regional Medical Center is now the fee simple owner of the land, as we had attempted to do back in 2011. What I was appreciative of this is that the judge basically found that what the city did, what the City Hospital Board did was correct in transferring this deed, and now they can go forward if they want to, and I think they plan to sell the land to the city library, the Fayetteville Public Library. So both Don and I are here rather than in court. He was going to be the representative of the city, so we were much more happy to be here tonight.
Okay, anything else? All right, thank you all. We're adjourned.